I'm Bird Mahia, and this is
Tyrone.
and we are here to talk about thoughts, feelings,
Actions and results.
yes.
So what does that look like? Just to throw out those words of thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Because we are human beings that like to think. We are essentially compulsive thinkers. So if you look at it from that aspect, our thoughts will create our feelings or emotions. And through these feelings and emotions, when we go into action based on those emotions, that essentially defines our results that we get in our life. So if we pay attention to that, it all stems from what we're thinking about. So what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about right now? What are you going to be thinking about later? Are you even aware of what you're thinking about? You have to pay attention, and that's called being present. So how often are you present in the moment versus off in la la land?
Or what kind of words are you speaking to yourself? How kind are you even talking to yourself?
Which is also key. How do you relate to yourself? Are you good to yourself? You proud of yourself? You appreciate yourself?
Or are you telling yourself in the mirror, look how stupid you are, look how ugly you are, like, why did you keep doing this? You keep doing the same darn thing. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so we define that as what? Negative self-talk. That's not allowed in our space at all. So when you catch yourself doing it, just cut it off. As a child, I don't know, elementary school, I remember, just being in class, out on the playground, recess. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was a thing back then. We'd go outside for recess and, play on the school grounds. And I would always remember hearing people bash themselves. Oh, I'm so stupid. And I would think, why would you call yourself stupid? But I never picked that up to beat myself up verbally. So consider that, be mindful of that. That starts to change your space to where you can appreciate yourself. If you're gonna say anything, be grateful. Be grateful for who you are, what you have, who you be. Stand in a space of appreciation.
Yes, and that's important. And can I speak on that for a second?
Yes.
For those of you that I would speak things about myself, right? So I remember once when I was married, and my spouse was cheating on me, and I found out about it, and it was a big thing. And I remember looking in the mirror, and because he was out on a weekend in another country with this woman, and I remember just been crying, and I looked in the mirror, and I said, of course he's with another woman. Look how ugly you are. You're no good, Bird. Look how ugly you are. Of course he's with another woman. And that's what I spoke to myself in front of the mirror as I was just crying. So that is power, right? Your words are powerful. And deep down, this is how I felt about myself. I felt like I wasn't lovable unless I was perfect. I wasn't lovable. So pay attention. Instead of when you find yourself doing that, don't beat yourself up again and say, God, look how stupid I'm speaking so badly. I'm not supposed to be doing this. First step is to be aware. Just be aware of, okay, I am being really hard. What kind of thoughts, my anxiety is taking me places. This is just number one, be aware and don't have judgment, right? We get to not judge ourselves. And this is a first step of self-love, is just to love yourself in that moment and say, it's okay. And then one of my processes where I started talking to myself when I was in a situation, I'd be crying and my heart was broken again. I'd be like, it's okay, Bird. It's okay, Bird. And I would change it. I might be crying, my heart might be broken, but I'd look at myself in the mirror. Sometimes even when I was driving, I'm like, it's okay, Bird, I love you. Bird, I love you. It's okay, Bird, I love you. And just that, started changing. So number one, be aware and don't beat yourself up. Not all of us were in this grade school looking at other kids saying, "Gal, I don't do that," because a lot of us were those kids that were doing that.
Be the observer. Like for many of you, this might be your initial access to transformation, like becoming more aware. So as you move into that transformation, just understand you're just an observer. Not, like Bird said, there's no judgment. Don't beat yourself up. Just observe what's there. Are you doing this versus this?
Yeah.
So you just want to be present and conscious and aware of what is happening in your space, mostly in your thoughts. And then once you start to be more aware and you start watching that more often, and I look up here because where are our thoughts? They're out there somewhere, right? So once you get into the practice of watching your thoughts and observing them, then you can really manage them. And then you can be more in control of your emotions, your space, and it'll give you power into creating the life that you want. But that goes deeper, and we'll get into that as well.
Yes, because then we'll talk about the feelings, because the feelings are really where you access a lot of. You feel it, then you can bring it to you, right? You feel it with your heart. It's like you put energy out there that is going to be drawn to your feelings. But the first one is the thoughts.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful ones, we'll continue talking. Let us know what topics you want. Lots to speak on. So
take care.
Mind this. You're beautiful.
Be mindful.
Yes.
Present.
Be present and speak kindly to yourself in front of the mirror, even if you don't believe it. And even if you don't believe it. Right?
You say it often enough, you'll believe it.
Yeah.
What she is expressing is a reconditioning of your old patterns. But more on that later.
Yes. All right. Sending light.